We're spending more than ever.
I hate my job.
The price of everything has gone up.
AI is threatening my job.
It's crisis after crisis.
Nothing is working out.
I can't find a job.
We're one disaster away.
Take control of change.
I need a change.
Disruption is the force of change. Stop the chaos. Stop the madness. Take control. Read James Patterson's Disrupt Everything and Win.
Henry David Thoreau wrote, "Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads." And for a certain kind of person, the bibliophile, the college student, the child on a Saturday outing with daddy, heaven may also be a good bookstore. You see, at a good bookstore, what could be seen as an inconvenient errand is an escape from the doldrums of everyday life. A good bookstore has a jazz record playing softly over the speakers, a cushy, oversized leather armchair to snuggle up in, the smell of fresh pages mingling with the aroma of Seattle's best coffee. You could lose yourself for hours, make a new friend, maybe even fall in love. For about 40 years, one bookstore did just that. It was cozy, it was comforting, and for a while, it was everywhere, with over 1,200 stores at its peak in 2003. It was a haven for anyone shopping for a CD in a long box, a DVD of Bruce Almighty, or their next great read, as recommended by a friendly and knowledgeable salesperson. But like the final page of a great novel, the ending came faster than anyone expected. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Borders, Books, and Music.
We're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on Brand.
Welcome to On Brand with John and Marissa. I'm John.
I'm Marissa.
Okay. This was definitely on my list. I looked at it. I didn't choose it. It's definitely an iconic brand. It conjures memories, all those memories you said. As you were reading the first part of your cold open, I was like, no wonder they closed down. People are just like hanging in there drinking coffee. No mention of buying a book, looking for love.
I will say, in my deep dive on the Borders, Books, and Music experience, I spent some time in the Reddit. I read some stories from employees. The employees but aside from saying it was like the best job they ever had, they were encouraged to let customers hang out all day and read the books for free. Magazines, newspapers, books, a big old stack of books on your little cafe table at a Seattle's Best Coffee, and then leave with your wallet fat.
Well, I am sure that they will survive. I feel like Borders, I don't remember what Barnes & Noble was like at the time. Now I like Barnes & Noble so much. Borders at the time, to me, felt like the Frasier of bookstores.
Oh, interesting.
It was like classical. It was more like classical music than it was, I feel like, Nora Jones. I could be wrong, but that's just that now 20, 30 years
now
away
I
from
feel
it.
like in a Barnes & Noble, you're hearing like Dua Lipa.
Oh, my heart. I love it when you try to be hip. I have never been happier than I am at this moment. Who else might you hear when you're at Borders? Barbershop
Let's
Quartet.
see, there's Dua Lipa.
There's Dua Lipa.
There's Dua Lipa. There's
Sabrina
Carpenter.
Of course, maybe.
Billie Eilish.
Absolutely.
Taylor Smith.
Sad thing here. So we did have a Borders. I don't know. I don't think you were living here.
I wasn't born yet.
You were.
On Vine.
No, in Glendale.
Oh, wow.
The Marshalls on Brand with the beautiful glass facade was a Borders, and then it closed, and then they just threw up a Marshall sign. It was so
That is a depressing transition.
Every time I see it, I've lived in this city long enough, like. I'm also just always alone. So I drive around and give myself tours of the city and think to what I would say to somebody that was there with me.
Do you?
Yeah, like if I had a family member here, I'd be like, oh, this used to be the blah, blah, blah. Or this is where I once blah, blah, blah.
Interesting, the visits from family have really fallen off.
There was a bunch of family visits when I first moved here for the first 5 years. And then
Johnny's famous tour bus didn't really get its legs.
Nobody visits anymore.
Is there a way to make something uglier faster than putting a Marshall sticker on it? Like something you otherwise might like. Something about that sticker It just devalues something so much in my mind.
I don't know what...
A bottle of hand soap, a bag of caramels.
That's like a bottle of hand soap that somehow some is squirted out. So it's
Sure.
like all like
Gooey.
greasy on the side.
A brand you've never heard of.
Caramels that are stuck together because in
Sure.
transport they were in an unrefrigerated van. Yeah, all those stores, but we love them.
We love them.
We love them. We're happy to be your sponsors. Looking for a cheap Christmas gift? Shop Marshalls. Looking for something melted? Also shop Marshalls. Well, I'm very excited to learn about this, but I am even more excited
Ooh.
to give you an update of what has happened to me this week.
Okay. Is this a follow-up to an ongoing saga?
No, this
Okay.
is not that.
Okay,
I'm
we'll put a
still
pin
not
in
done with
that.
that because I thought I was done with that, and then one little kink came in, and I'm waiting to see if there's one more nugget I can get out of that. It's going to be so anticlimactic, but I just am not quite there yet.
Great.
So
Can't wait.
everyone knows I love free things. I love swag. I usually don't care if it's ugly, even though sometimes it sucks when it does. But a couple weeks ago, a listener reached out, and this is, okay, full disclosure, her name is Alexis. This is a friend of Caitlin, who I've mentioned on the pod a lot, celebrity chef Caitlin, sister to my dear friend Christine. So she's in the fold. I am not great friends with her or anything. I've met her a few times.
Rude.
No, it's just a fact. I
How
just...
about yet?
Yet, of course, yet. Now we are besties.
I believe it.
Now we are besties because she reached out and she's like, hey. And how she came to I believe she came to our show. Last year, we all went to, Caitlin and her husband, Dustin, invited me to go see the Nutcracker with them.
Oh, fun.
And there was a group of us, and Alexis was there.
Okay, great.
And when we were leaving, someone mentioned the pod, and they were like, oh, you should listen to the pod. It turns out she not only listened, she became a fan.
Oh my gosh.
She's
wow.
a bona fide freak.
Love to hear that.
So she's been enjoying the show. And she reached out and she's like, listen, I have a small gift I'd like to bring you. And of course, I'm like, gift. But then part of me is also kind of like, oh, God, I don't like... I'm weird about gifts. It's like I do want them, but I also don't like compliments. Like I'm weird about, I don't want you to really spend money on me, even though I kind of do.
You don't like compliments?
When someone's like, you know how our thing...
Sure. We try to make you embarrassed by telling you we're proud of you.
When someone tells me they're proud of me, it makes me so mad.
But if somebody says, John, you are so funny, I love the podcast, you're like, stop.
Stop,
No,
no.
little old me.
Of course. Humor, because humor's all I have.
Sure.
Humor's all I have.
I'm so proud of you, John.
Merch.
Humor's all I have.
Humor's all
is
I
on a
have.
T.
With a giant graphic picture of me.
Great.
Graphic meaning naked.
Nude. Full schwanz.
Soft nude. So Alexis reaches out and I'm like, great. And I was house sitting at the time. We were trying to coordinate. Long story short, I'm rambling. So this week we were finally able to coordinate. Now, Alexis had heard... I'm wearing the shirt now. If you're not watching on YouTube, there was a little drama with my first time giving blood like a month ago. I gave blood, one, to help those in need.
You didn't even know they were giving away free Snoopy shirts. You just were there to do a good deed.
No, I'm not going to lie. I knew there were shirts, but you know, there is a difference between wanting to get a free shirt and being willing to have your fluids sucked out of you. Okay. Your blood. We'll make it your blood sucked out of you.
John-shaped hole in my wall, rushing to get his fluid sucked out in exchange for a free shirt. Wow, what an offer.
What an offer. So I went to give blood, and they were if you're just joining our show, the Red Cross had a collaboration with Peanuts. They had 4 T-shirts that they were giving out. They were in blind bags. You didn't know what they were. And for me, they were clearly an order of what shirt you wanted. First, there was 2 that had Snoopy. Those were the top 2. The Snoopy with the Red Cross was number 1. The Snoopy with the blood drop was number 2. And then the 2 with no Snoopies are 3 and 4. The one that's all Woodstock shaped like a blood drop is 4, like deep 4. No one wants it. At least
I'm seeing it as slightly off center. Woodstock is, when you adjust it, you kind of recenter it, but he is really an inch away from your nipple.
Yeah, if you're not looking at the shirt, it's a bunch of Woodstocks shaped like a blood drop, and one of them is flying away. And the way the shirt is designed, he's flying straight to my nipple.
Let me tell you, too, you wouldn't know it was a blood drop. There's nothing about it that indicates blood.
Well, underneath it says "give blood."
Well, I can't see that part.
This is the episode we learned you can't read. That's why you did Borders, to you were like, it's my Mount Everest. And at the end of the show, we have that special thing. If you know anyone that can't read, please reach out to 1-800-READ-ME. So she reaches out. God, I'm making the story go so long. So she's like, she came over and she was talking about how much she was cracking up at the episode. And she works at a very funny show that you may know called St. Dennis Medical. It's an
great.
NBC show. We watched the pilot together because I told you I wanted to watch it. Very
Amazing.
funny. It's one of those like mockumentary style
Yes.
shows. It's on Peacock and NBC. Super funny show. So she had coordinated a blood drive there.
Wow.
And she's like, look, I know it's silly, but like they gave me this little gift bag. So she brings me this gift bag. And in this gift bag, it's so cute. I get this new like
Oh my
Red
gosh.
Cross little like clear thing,
Wow.
clear tumbler, an enamel pin that says
Cute.
Los Angeles American Red Cross. I love me an enamel pin. I'm gonna
Wait, I have a really good idea. Enamel pin, some kind of backer that turns it into a gibbet. Like a special backer that you put on an enamel pin.
merch. And then this was my favorite. Look at this journal. It's like this
Oh.
blood red, feels like leather.
I love that kind of. I'm just imagining you getting a free journal and then going, maybe I'll start to keep a diary. Like this is the barrier to you keeping a diary is not having been given one for free. Like you actually believing that.
Whenever I get a journal, I'm like, what? This journal has to be used for something specific. What will I use this one for? And then I never do. This one, I assume, I guess it'd be whenever I make a donation.
Well, it's kind of like lightly medical themed, so maybe just to keep track of your doctor's visits.
My ails and my aches and ointments.
Any questions to ask the doctor? Because you do need to write them down in advance because you're going to forget.
I put them in I literally have one of my notes in my phone is questions for the doctor. And anytime I'm going to a doctor, it's like when I pack, the week leading
Yes.
up to it, I will throw questions in there that I need to remember to ask them. So
I do that I'll get to it. Well, you have to schedule a doctor's appointment like 3 months out. So by the time I get to the doctor, they're like, great, so what's wrong? I'm like, nothing, I'm fine.
Absolutely
And then I
nothing.
leave and I'm in the parking lot and I'm like, why didn't I tell them that like my leg hurts all the time?
I know.
You just forget.
It's such, I know. I went through this yesterday. I went to a dermy and forgot to ask a question.
Oh, my
Now
goodness.
It's like trying to get them on the phone. So that was very sweet. So I wanted to thank Alexa for that.
how nice.
But that wasn't all she brought.
You're kidding.
So she gives me that and then she pulls out
No.
another blind bag shirt. Now,
Have you opened it yet?
I have not opened it.
Oh my God.
She has opened it. So it is open. I have not looked at it. Now, I did not expect this story to continue. I could not have been more flabbergasted and full of joy. This to
Amazing.
me is a perfect gift.
Perfect.
She didn't have to spend any money. It continues a joke with our show. It's lore at this point.
It's something that has haunted you. Like it's a silly thing that haunts you, which is like the best kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, she was like, look, they only had XXL, so it is bigger that this will be a night shirt.
It's a sleeping shirt. Kurt.
But I don't know what this is, so I figure we'll just pick up where we left off.
Amazing.
Previously, on the Peanuts Red Cross collab, John opened 2 of the number 4 shirt, the shirt he wanted the least. He is now unexpectedly about to open shirt number 3.
Okay.
Not design 3.
We'll
shirt
see if he gets a more preferred design.
Now, I'm just as nervous, so I'll reveal it to you first.
Okay, spread it out.
Can you
turn
see-
it to the camera. Flip
can
it
you see
around.
the front?
Nope, turn it around. That's the back.
That's the back.
Okay. Wait, what did you say was your favorite? Describe your favorite
My
design.
favorite is Snoopy and Woodstock with the cross.
What's your second favorite?
Snoopy and Woodstock with the blood drop. Can I
John,
look?
turn that t-shirt around.
It's Snoopy and Woodstock.
That would be so mean if she gave you... She knew what it was and she gave you a third Woodstock blood drop shirt.
Oh my! Now, can you see like why this should be in the trash?
Now I get it.
And this, you gotta have that Papa Red, and you gotta have Snoopy.
Could you cut that out and maybe patch it over the old one?
Now, that's exactly the sort of thing I think about when I end up with something too big. It's the same as like, I'm buying 7 patches because one day I'm going to have a pair of patch pants or the enamel pin bag or my charm bracelet, which I am
Sure.
going to have.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my God. Now, full disclosure, as you know, I did say this was choice number 2.
Okay.
So thank God she gave me.
You're kidding. You are kidding.
2
John,
blind bag.
the juice you have.
Peanuts.
I'm seeing it now. When you were like, we should start a podcast. This was the plan all along. It wasn't even about money, which we also don't really have. This is what money can't buy. You have a field of minions to do the impossible task for you.
I'll be honest, it never entered my mind.
Unbelievable.
When we decided to do the podcast, I was like, what are we going to ramble about? Like, the fact that we're doing this over 2.5 years later, weekly, 2 shows, and still have stuff to talk about blows my mind.
This is the manifestation of the
But
dream.
finding people that will send me a Sarah Josepha Hale bobblehead,
Amazing.
a vintage class ring, these shirts, the little boo buckets, honey and seeds, and
goes
all
on and
the
on.
amazing gifts. If I left you out, it's not because I don't care. I have a bad memory, and there's just been so many lovely things. That has been a wonderful addition. So I'm gonna
Okay, let's see
we'll
what
open
this
this
one is.
quickly. There's a chance it could be the same one. I'm wondering if each size got its own design, but we'll just see real quick what this is.
Flip it around. I'm looking at the back. Okay, say again what your number 1 design is.
Snoopy and Woodstock with the cross.
John, turn your shirt around.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You are genuinely so... I see tears in your eyes. Are you crying?
I just can't believe doing this.
Your eyes are welling. I'm looking at you. It doesn't matter if you say you're not crying or not. Your eyes are wet.
Well, if I'm crying, they're tears of joy. Mostly because everything with this bit has been completely blind,
Yeah.
and it could not have presented itself more perfectly. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now that's a Woodstock I can get behind. He's got sunglasses on. He's not trying to get the milk out of my nipple. Like this guy over here. Oh my God, Alexis. Oh my God.
wow, you're freak of the year.
Freak of the year. I don't even know what to say. Holy crap. Maybe I will cut that and put it on my butt cheek on a pair of short-ass jeans.
You know, it's just a looser fit. That's in style now.
Just a looser fit.
Wow.
Wow. Pure joy. Thank you so much. They go into the shed. I gotta get to the shed.
The highest honor chucked into a pile of trash.
Nothing shows that I love it more than if it ends up in the unit.
Yeah, where it is preserved and pristine.
Oh my God, I am so happy right now.
I can tell.
I am so happy.
This is in stark contrast to how my last episode when you were very sad.
With the Taylor Swifts.
Yes, and the T-shirt before that.
And yeah, I've been sad a lot. Well, it's all
sad
been
a
turned around.
lot.
Be sure to watch St. Dennis Medical on, I think, Monday nights on NBC. And if you miss that, of course, on streaming on Peacock.
Yeah, and if you want to make your TV night just a little bit cozier, head over to Marshall's for one of those little foot spa bubblers, maybe a pair of slippers, a light candle.
You want just some slightly used seasonings? Head on over to Marshall's in the spice drawer. Did you get the new vanilla sugar at Trader Joe's?
No, is
I
it
did.
good?
What am I going to do with it? It says sprinkle on toast.
Sounds good.
So I'll try that.
So Borders Books and Music, this is a very personal, nostalgic brand for me. I spent a lot of time there as a kid. This was the era where you just get free reign to run around the bookstore for hours on end, from being a little kid all the way up until high school when I would do homework, you know, all my little books
Go to
spread out,
bookstores.
go to the bookstore, sit at a coffee shop, have a Frappuccino. I have all my books out. I got my little pens. I'm pretending to take notes, whatever, but really I'm hanging out with friends. I went through a little pagan phase, as I mentioned previously.
Who didn't? I mean, I know I was a vampire, but at one point I had like 14 decks of tarot cards. Like I was going to be Mademoiselle. Mademoiselle, is that I don't know. Whatever a funny word
Mademoiselle.
is.
Mademoiselle.
Vampire de Mademoiselle.
Yes. It's a rite of passage to go through get a little witchy. And I was no different. Around probably like 12, 13. They had a nice pagan section at Borders Books and Music. I would peel off for my mom. I'd wait until she was out of sight. And I would, I would, of course, never buy anything because then you have to come out to your parents as a witch, which is a big ask for a middle-class kid in Orange County. But, I would peruse them, maybe memorize some spells, maybe write them down in a little notebook. It was just a great, cozy, what they call now a third space, right? Not home, not work. a community space together. And I deeply mourn the loss. To me, Barnes & Noble doesn't have the same energy, that same je ne sais quoi.
I like Barnes & Noble.
I like it now because I like any retail experience. I'm just like happy that it exists. And I will be sad if Barnes & Noble goes under. But at the time, if you're comparing the two, Borders had just a different vibe. I'll say it now, in case you're wondering, which I know you will be. Borders Books and Music was the inspiration for Fox Books in the movie You've Got Mail.
Of course. And look how that turned out. She didn't act again for 45 years.
And now history is repeating itself, and the big bookstores are threatened by the online retailers.
Yeah, I like all these. It's like streamers and TV. We'll get rid of TV and have streamers, and now streamers suck. It's like, oh, you're streaming, but now we're going to give you commercials. What? That's the whole reason.
I had that last night where something about it, like it wasn't even like a particularly long searching what to watch period, but it just kind of all irritated me. Like, it's an assault to your senses to like scroll through everything on Netflix. You hover over something and the trailer starts playing immediately for like 5 seconds, super loud. You can't like scroll around in a pleasurable way anymore. Everything feels just like really aggressive. And I said last night, I'm like, let's get rid of all of it. I want to be checking out library DVDs.
You guys made fun of me when I checked out Judy on DVD.
We did, and now I wasn't ready. And now I am.
Of course. Why wouldn't you? It's free. You have a library literally from you. Uh-oh, they're going to figure out where you live.
Oh, I have a library. I'll bleep out the distance from my home to the library.
And bleep out when I say library.
So to me, reading about Borders, looking at pictures of Borders, it just filled me with, my favorite feeling, nostalgia for the late 90s.
I mean, I have the You Got Mail vinyl. Like, You Got Mail, those Meg Ryan, Tom
This
Hanks.
is the time of year. We are in peak You've Got Mail season right now.
It's autumn. It's like Sleepless in Seattle. You've Got Mail. When Harry Met Sally.
Yes.
All of them, man. There's like nothing Megan could do wrong back then.
No, for sure.
God, I love that woman.
So with that, let's dig into the history, because it is a rich one.
Are we clip-clopping? Are we vroom-vrooming? Let me guess. Borders, I'm going to say it has its roots in 1700s, but not really. We're going to probably pick this story up in 1946.
You know what? I'm going to shock you, because Barnes & Noble is an older company, but Borders started in 1970.
I almost said 1978.
And get this is going to knock your socks off. Louis Borders.
No way.
Was working in a bookstore in Boston while attending MIT, and his older brother Tom was teaching English in a small college town, but he was on sabbatical while he was trying to write the next great American novel. So these are book boys.
That's very
cute.
cute.
I'm going to go ahead and say book boys are hot.
We know what they look like?
Yes, we do.
And they are hot?
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Seems like a hesitant hotness.
Yes, they are.
It's like with the lights on 4.
It might not be everybody's taste, but I like a book boy. Don't you like a book boy too?
I live for a dad-bodied nerd. Is that too much?
I think that might be most of our listeners.
Okay.
A dad-bodied nerd.
Well, I have a couple XXL shirts we can share.
You can both try to squeeze into. So we got a couple book boys. They're in Boston. And Louis, he comes home to his brother, and he has 2 great business ideas. So his first idea was to figure out a way to computerize the daily racing form. Do you know what that is?
I'm assuming back in the day, everyone was gambling on something. I'm smart enough to know that racing forms are for horses.
Yes. Or maybe, I guess, dogs.
Oh, was it dogs?
I think it was horses, but yeah.
Was it in every city?
Back in that day, they'd pay anybody to race.
Just run, girl.
Just run,
Here's
girl.
$8 on that one.
He wanted to computerize the statistics so that they could make an easy living playing the ponies.
Computerizing statistics in this is the 60s or 70s?
70s, 1970.
I mean, so he's like, all right, I will build a room full of computers to make gamble instead of just ticking.
Let's rent out an old Sears to fill it with computers. At that point, I guess it would be a new Sears.
A brand new Sears. We need to
buy
take
all
over.
their inventory.
Buy all their inventory. That's back when you would see pictures of they're like the most modern computer, and it's like a 6-foot man next to like an entire building of machinery.
That's exactly how it was. So you can see why maybe Tom didn't love that idea.
That seems a little much. Is there anything else that you're bringing to the table?
So he did bring another idea to the table, and this one Tom liked. Open up a small used bookstore in Boston.
Small? Are you sure we don't want to still rent out a brand new Sears and buy all that inventory and fill it full of books?
Let's start with baby steps here.
Okay.
So they're drawing up their business plans for the bookstore. And at that time, a neighbor in Lewis's apartment building was robbed. And that gave the boys a sense that Boston was maybe a little too scary for their business venture.
Okay, wow. Does not take much. That's like people that moved to California and the first earthquake is like, and they're like, I'm out. I'm moving to North Carolina.
That's kind of how they felt. There's so many connections. The You've Got Mail connection, the next one you'll see also, that just make this story. I feel like autumn leaves are falling on my head as I'm like reading this story. So they both had degrees from University of Michigan, and they loved the smart, hip, intellectual atmosphere of Ann Arbor. Oh, are there two greater words?
Quick shout out to listener and brand freak Taylor, who I've been communicating a lot with lately, is starting Monday working seasonal help at Zingerman's in their bakery shop. So congratulations to her.
So exciting. And I will say, as I'm talking about all these locations around Ann Arbor, they're all about 0.7 miles, half a mile away from what will be Zingerman's.
Wow.
So imagine Zingerman's didn't come out in like 1985 or something. So imagine after 1985, you're grabbing a Zingerman's
like a warm slice of like crumb cake, a Reuben, cuddling up at home, watching You've Got Mail,
with
knock
a book
on the door, your grinder hookup shows up. You're like, oh, you're early, but you know what? I'm just going with it today.
It's been my dream to someone in a bookstore. Meet me at Borders. Oh, bleep that. Sorry.
This is on brand.
I forgot there were kids listening. It's been my dream to kiss somebody in a Borders.
Hold hands.
Hold hands.
Send your children to the kids section right now.
So this is the perfect place to launch Borders Bookshop, which is a modest, simple bookstore in this very cool college town of Ann Arbor. They had no employees. They each worked half shifts, so they could still have time to read and write and live their intellectual fantasy.
Love it.
That same week, Tom and Lewis heard about a major real estate auction to be held in Boston with thousands of books as part of the sale. So they think, well, this is the perfect opportunity to fill their entire inventory, just getting all these books at once. So they could plan to commit that they could spend $3,000 out of their very modest budget because they have a small upstart.
That's probably $34,000 today.
It very well could be. At the auction, they spent hours going through this collection of this guy who had been in the Massachusetts Senate in the early 1900s, whose estate had been in litigation for years. So there were hundreds of leather bindings, fine illustrated editions. But what they were most excited about was a well-curated reader's library. So on the auction day, the last item to be sold from the massive estate were the books. And the auctioneer actually apologized because his original intent was to break them up into a bunch of smaller packages.
Yeah.
But since time was so short, the auctioneer is just like, we're going to auction all the books all at once. Do I have an opening bid? Let's say $3,000. And the brothers raised their hands along with dozens of other people.
Oh.
So the books sold for $8,000. Wow. Which was out of their budget.
I thought they were going to sell for like $8.
No.
No, I've told you, I went to an estate sale, and usually books and records, now records are getting kind of up there, but like they'll sell them for $1. They don't even go through them.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I told this story or not, but in the last, like 2 years ago, I went and I was flipping through and I bought like 5, and I got home and one of them was the Brady Bunch Christmas. Did I tell this story? And I get home and I turned it over, signed by every Brady kid.
Incredible.
Got it for $1. Maybe talked him down to 50 cents.
The find of a lifetime.
Find of a lifetime.
Because they're not going through everything.
I thought you were going to say because they're not living anymore. Most of them are cracked out, cranking it at home for pennies.
You talking about the Brady kids?
I don't know. Yeah, I was. I write Brady fan fiction. Do you have a favorite book? First of all, 2 questions.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite book aside from Roosevelt? And do you have like a book that you would put in your will, like a valuable book?
A valuable book I put in my will. I have some old Winnie the Pooh books. My mom has a really good collection of old books that I'm really excited to inherit. And this Winnie the Pooh book, if I had known, it's not super rare, but like if they're in good condition, they go for like maybe $150. And the cover, I've just been using it like a regular book. Like I'm reading it to the kids. The cover is getting a little, and then I'm like, I looked it up. I'm like, oh no. So now I hid the cover and now I put it up on a high shelf. But I have some good Winnie the Poohs.
I do that a lot with even new books. I usually will take off the sleeve right away.
Really?
And tuck it away and then read the book. I would say, I don't know if it's probably my most valuable. I have 2 first edition book edition, not like first edition that you get at like Borders, but there was a book club edition.
Oh, yeah.
I think those are a little less valuable, but 2 first edition book club edition of Interview with the Vampire signed by Anne
that's
Rice
awesome.
that I got signed in my lifetime.
Did you get it signed at a bookstore?
I got it signed. I met her a few times at
cool.
different events, so I eventually got on both sides. She loved to sign things for fans.
That's great.
There was a time
You're supposed
she was
to.
so cool to us little vampies that like you could write her or her company or whatever and just ask. They would send you like, I don't know, for the cost of postage, they would send you like 5 or 10 like book plates that she signed, so you could just stick
Wow.
them in her books.
That's fun.
Very nice.
That's so nice.
She used to also have like an 800 number you could call, and she would just be like, "Hello, my darlings," and like be vampy with us.
Not live, though.
No. Hello? Hey, it's John. I'm a vampire. Okay, yeah.
I can see you doing that.
for sure.
If we have 1-800 on brand, it's just like, it's you just being like, hello. And they're like, oh, I thought this would be like a voicemail. No, it's just me. I'm making eggs. What's up?
That kind of is how Wednesdays go with the Insta egg.
That's great. We'll have a phone line someday.
Yeah.
So the book sold for $8,000, which was obviously way out of their budget. After the auction, they met the buyer, who was a renowned antiquities dealer named Richard Mills.
Oh, I was hoping his name would be And Music.
Richard and music.
I have a great idea. We're Border Books.
and music. And then later it was confusing, so they were like, I guess we could sell CDs. They didn't even plan on it. The Borders brothers described this guy, Richard Mills, as a true genius and a gentle soul. He was a Harvard graduate and a World War II Navy submarine vet. They don't make them like they used to.
No.
Submarine vet. He had
Nothing sounds worse to me than being in a submarine.
I agree.
Not being. I feel like. Is there a submarine where you can fully stand? I feel like you're
No,
constantly.
you're always like
squatted.
laying on your belly on top of 4 other people.
Oh,
Now you're
yay! I'm gonna jump online real quick.
Submarine tours
Job
near me.
applications.
You're a captain of a submarine now? So he has a photographic memory. He was described as somewhat unkempt. He always has like a rumpled sport coat with a bottle of Maalox and acid poking out the pocket.
That was gonna be Bailey's. I was like, I can really get behind this guy.
I mean, he's your type. He's like a dad bod book
Dad
boy.
bod,
There you
frumpy
go.
boy,
With a little heartburn. Who doesn't
and a
have
heart
it?
of gold.
Heart to burn, heart of gold.
Heart of burn of gold.
Merch. So Tom asked Richard if he needed help moving the books. This is a good tip for all you entrepreneurs out there. Just because you don't win the books in the auction, get in there somehow.
Doesn't mean you can't eventually open a bookstore that will fail.
There you go. Well, okay. You'll find out they made out okay.
Okay.
So he asked if they needed help moving the books. So, by the way, Richard Mills, he paid $8,000 for this lot of books. There were, speaking of your Brady Bunch signed album, rare pamphlets in this collection that were worth more than the entire lot that he paid for. So he did. It
I
was
can't
like a
even
really good
imagine
deal.
stuff like that. You tuck it away. It's like something that
Sure.
wasn't expected to like stick around or got thrown away. Invaluable.
Invaluable. I know.
Much like my signed Arnold Schwarzenegger book. That's what I was going to say back in the. That's why I like Barnes and Noble, because every Black Friday they do a big autographed book section, and I look forward to it every year.
And you still are trying to move an Arnold Schwarzenegger book.
Actually, someone wrote us on Instagram. I'm like,
serious?
do you still have that sign? And I never wrote him back. I like got defended. I was like, girl, what do you want my book for? He ain't dead yet. I should write them back though. I honestly just forgot.
Yeah, though I think if you do want to get a premium, you gotta wait.
You gotta wait till you.
Like, he's really healthy.
Oh, I think you're saying he's really close.
No, he's like not close at all. He's really healthy.
Oh, damn it.
So Tom rents a truck and he moves the books to Exeter, New Hampshire. And Richard Mills' house is his warehouse, it's his showroom, his office, and Tom is his right-hand man. So he's doing everything as kind of like a little like errand boy. One day he picked up a collection of 100 antique duck decoys, which seems like something I could see you having, like a little wooden duck decoy.
My mom has duck decoys.
Yeah, well, so did he.
I also have shoe forms.
Oh, shoe forms are really cute.
I love a shoe form.
a little baby shoe form.
I have like 5 little baby shoe. I just said it.
forms.
Jew form. Jew form. What the fudge? I have 5 little baby shoe forms.
They're so cute. So he would get the duck decoys. Mr. Mills would sell them in the next few days to other dealers. One day he sold like his antique desk in his office for $16,000. So he's working with some pretty high profile antiquities dealers.
God.
After 6 weeks, Tom finishes sorting and cataloging all the books, and he is stunned when Mr. Mills gives the entire garage full of books to the Borders brothers. He spent all that time cataloging them, and he's been helping him out with a bunch of other projects, and he goes, you know what, they're all yours.
Wow.
I'm sure he went through and found like the most expensive ones and kept.
Well, rightfully so.
The ones that they were interested in were maybe the more like accessible ones. At least like they don't want to get in the antiquities business. They want to be a used bookstore. So this is their precious load of their first inventory, and they got it on the back of a truck driving to Ann Arbor. And without knowing it, Mr. Mills had the first hand in helping launch Borders Bookshop, which obviously went on to be a very successful business. Unfortunately, Mr. Mills passed away before he got to see what the business became, but he had a very important role in making the bookstore what it became.
This is not a great commercial for, what was that medicine he drank?
Maalox.
This is not a great endorsement for Maalox.
Do you think it was related?
Unfortunately, due to Maalox consumption.
I never understood the people who like are just sucking on a bottle of Pepto all day.
I
I'm
know.
like, I feel like you're not supposed to take that much.
You're not supposed to take that much.
You're not supposed to take that much.
But you know what this is reminding me of, Marissa Pendon?
Yes, John Glauber?
Pottery Barn.
Oh,
When they
yes.
acquired a big barn full of pottery.
pottery. Yes, it's very similar.
Interesting.
Sometimes getting something in bulk is a good way to start your business.
Let's go look for a big garage of foam.
And we will be rich. So in Ann Arbor, they leased part of a second floor of a retail building at 211 South State Street. So if you live in Ann Arbor, like our friend who listens, who was working at Zingerman's, maybe you'll love these addresses. It's near the University of Michigan's main quad. On the same floor were Suwanee Spring Leather Shop, where Tom bought a pair of handmade sandals, and Herb David's Guitar Studio. So this is setting the tone of like what the vibe is. It's Ann Arbor. It's in the 70s. It's very hippy dippy, college kids, a guitar shop, a leather shop, and a bookstore. So they opened their second floor used bookstore in February of 1971 with the books of Mr. Mills and the others that they had accumulated. It was 2 small rooms with a half bath. They made a pot of hot tea every morning for their customers. The final floor plan had the service counter with the toilet tucked behind it. So if somebody had to use the bathroom, everybody had to leave the store. Just like lock the door. But very few customers came to that second floor space, and the brothers were learning what would be their first Huizenga. So you heard of the expression location, location, location? Mm-hmm. I don't think they had, because not a lot of people were going to the second floor of a leather shop guitar studio looking for antique books.
Fair enough. Now, where do you stand on, you're at an antique store, where do you stand on going to the basement or an upper floor? Do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy the exploration?
I enjoy the exploration.
I feel like this happens when I'm in Ohio at Christmas. There's a few shops I like to go to.
To have a little upstairs
like
section.
a rickety, cool, like painted wood
stairs,
staircase. So you gotta
yes.
creak up or down. You find, I did that in April and went downstairs to this one store across from the Golden Lamb, which is, I think, the oldest restaurant, has House Many Presidents. That's where I get apple butter. And it was April, and I went down in their basement, full of clearance Christmas.
Oh.
Is there anything better than 90% off Christmas stuff in April?
Oh my gosh, that's heaven.
Except when you don't live there. It's like all definitely stuff for people that have like big homes.
That's true. I mean, even just I'm knowing how the Halloween sales are coming. They're already probably 12-foot skeletons are probably on clearance at Home Depot, and I want one of these, and I'm like, but where? I need a full garage.
I know.
For just Mr. Bones.
Or a storage unit.
I guess that's an option as
Not
well.
mine.
Not in my budget. So 6 months later, they moved to a first floor location on William Street. You hearing that, Ann Arbor listeners? William Street, 800 square feet. The additional space was an improvement on the first floor. They still didn't get enough foot traffic, so they wanted more. They moved again for the third time in 2 years. This is a lot of books. Books are heavy.
Books are the worst.
You don't know it, and you have like one box. You like keep putting books in a box, and you pick it up. It's like 750 pounds.
Do you want to hear my stupid book story that's
Yeah.
so John, and people are probably going to get mad at me for doing this?
Sure.
Someone like a couple weeks ago on my street had put out a table with a bunch of free books, and there was this nice looking box set that had like 7 books in
Of
it.
what book?
I don't even know.
You don't even know?
I had to look it up when I got home, but I took them anyway. I don't care.
A box set of a box.
I assumed it was some popular book that the kids like.
Okay.
So
Twilight.
I took it. No, it's like science fiction, like one of those like the Lupin lore of whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
I don't know.
great.
Just sci-fi or space adventure.
Okay.
And they looked cool and unread, so I took them, and they were on the porch. I went and looked them up, and you could buy the whole set for like $150.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Book sets are expensive.
Now, these I'm like, I will sell. The set online had 8 books. Mine had 7. Someone had taken 1 book out.
You didn't notice it was like the books were rattling around in the box?
I did a little. I was like, that seems like maybe too much space, but let's see. So that's what I wanted to confirm. Then I just hated the books and I left them outside. And then 2 nights ago, what never happens in LA, it rained. Now the books are all swollen and they're all ruined and the box fell apart. There you go. Now you can hate me.
I fear that there's a lot of stories like that we'll never hear.
Oh, many.
Like we hear about your screwing Amazon with your thermos water bottle.
For every thermos story, there are 18 other stories that you will...
Of swollen, rain-bloated books.
It's like that terrible movie I, Robot with Will Smith, and he's talking to that hologram of that guy, and the guy's like, you didn't ask the right questions. You have... And then he finally does, and he's like, no, that's the right question.
That's me and you.
That's me and you.
Have you left any books to get bloated and wet in the rain lately?
That's the right
Every
question.
time after it rains, I should go, John, what'd you leave out? What'd you leave out?
Oh, those poor books.
So they moved for the 3rd time in 2 years to a prime location. Listen up, Ann Arbor residents, 316 South State Street, where Wars University Bookstore had been since 1892. So that building is 3 times larger with a full basement for storage, overstock, and an office on the 2nd floor.
Did you go to college? I forget.
No.
God, going to college and having to go to the bookstore, I'm in those decades where you still had to buy physical books. And,
Yeah.
like, you would go to the bookstore. I went to UC. I forget the name of the bookstore over on Calhoun, I think, or Calhoun. I think. I forget. Who cares? Someone's like, John, Du Bois.
We have some Cincinnati listeners.
Du Bois bookstore, I think. Oh, man, now I think I'm right. But you would have to go and, like, find, like, used... You try to find the usedest ones so they would be cheaper, and it's like, oh...
They were really expensive, right?
Yes, it would be like a used textbook would be like $100. It's like, give... What?
What?
And then 8 years later, people are on iPads and hoverboards.
Marty McFly and zipping changing time and space.
So ridiculous, those books.
So now they have their great new location. It's in a spot that had been a university bookstore. It's 3 times larger than the one before. You think everything's going great. Oh, also, neither of them are morning people. So they have their first employee now named Doris Becker. And she would open the store in the morning so the boys could sleep in.
I mean, I don't know where this story's going, I'll be completely honest, but the more that I hear, the more that I'm absolutely convinced that they will succeed.
What could go wrong, right?
Nothing could go
wrong. They have all the
wrong.
ingredients. Sleepy owners, bad locations.
Doris.
Doris.
As soon as we're done recording, I'm headed over to Borders to grab a mocha latte.
Huizinga number 2. They would mix the new books and the used books together and people didn't know which was which. They didn't know if a slightly worn new book was used or a gently used book was new.
Sounds like they need a color coding system. Blue, new. Red, dead.
That's actually a really good idea.
Thank you.
I'm sure they came to that eventually. Huizinga number 3. Ann Arbor is a reader's town, not so much an antiquities town. These college students weren't as interested in these rare copies of Moby Dick. They wanted the books that they had to read for school, the novels that they were interested in.
You know who famously went to that university?
Who?
Lourdes, Madonna's daughter.
Oh, that's right.
University
Did
of
she ever eat
Michigan.
at Zingerman's?
I would assume who wouldn't have eaten at Zingerman's.
Our first guest, Lourdes Madonna.
Her last name is Madonna's only name? Yes. Ciccone, Lourdes Ciccone.
Yeah, she's our first guest and it's on Zingerman's.
I can't wait. December 14th.
That's got to be your episode. So they took all the used book from the shelves. Now it's just a regular bookstore. They've survived 3 moves in 2 years. They're in a good location with enough space to make a splash. They're selling the kind of books people wanted. All of their dreams are coming to fruition. So this is at a time where the auto industry and the Michigan economy are tanking badly. They had a lot of nosedives in 1974. This is one of them. Several commercial stores were vacant around the campus area. In the down economy, the Borders brothers were able to secure a very favorable lease for a large prime space at 303 South State Street. You get that, Ann Arbor residents?
I hope Taylor has written all these down. She has them on her wall. She's like, Law and Order, put pins in each of them. I do get excited. I'm not going to lie. When in LA, when they're like, and Lucy used to live on...
Are you kidding?
Blah, blah,
It's
blah,
the
Las
best.
Palmas.
If I was in Ann Arbor next week, I'd be doing a tour of all the Borders locations, ending at Zingerman's for a
Our
sandwich.
first live show is in Ann Arbor on Zingerman's, and the next day we give a tour of the border. Follow the footsteps
Yes.
of borders.
Yes, and honestly, you could probably do it as a walking tour. They're all so close.
Can I get one of those?
Segway. John will be on a Segway leading the pack.
Not a Segway. Like, what's that one where someone pulls me?
A wagon? A red flyer wagon?
Oh, something Shaw.
Rickshaw?
A rickshaw.
Okay, John is in a rickshaw with a freak.
Two freaks.
Two freaks dragging him down
Two
State
weak
Street.
freaks.
Great. It's either one strong freak or two weak freaks.
weak freaks.
You can work that out among yourselves. So they got a lease for a 10,000 square foot retail space. It used to be Wagner Men's Clothing. You know that if you're an old timer in Ann Arbor.
Love Wagner's. Back when a man's...
Do you know Wagner?
Of course not.
Okay. I didn't know it was a chain.
No.
10,000 square feet on 2 levels with an escalator and a full basement. We're seeing whispers of what is to come. The escalator really sells it. Seattle's best coffee. All the new inventory would be ordered for the new store. And in preparation for the move, Tom started organizing a clearance sale of everything in the old space. They're doing a lot of moving and shuffling. To me, it seems like a bit of a distraction from the actual selling of the books. But sure, they're working it out. Meanwhile, Lewis starts to kind of mutter to himself. He's working on a project with these yellow legal pads in the basement, and he's developing some kind of system.
Wait, do people need to pull over? I feel like you're about to say something that people need to pull over for.
I mean, yeah, pull over. Sure.
Just drive a little slower.
If you're feeling unsafe, pull over to the shoulder, or maybe just start going below the speed limit. Like 20 miles per hour below the speed limit.
Sometimes it's just as dangerous to go. It's more dangerous to go below the speed.
You think so?
You can get a ticket for going
I
too
think
slow.
everybody should be driving at the speed they're comfortable.
I think you should not be able to drive faster than you can walk.
Okay, that's fair. Tom was busy. He's running the 3-month-long clearance sale to generate the cash they need for the move. He tried to get Lewis to leave the basement to help on the busy sales floor to box up these books, but he's too busy. He's working on his system for inventory. Tom glances at the legal pad. He's scoffing at this 6-page list, which says RANC, RANP, RANM. Tom doesn't understand.
R-E-S-P-C-T. Shaka-do-me.
New idea for song.
He wrote Respect. Aretha Franklin comes in to buy a used copy of, I don't know.
Catcher in the Rye.
I was going to say The Wiz, but then I was like, is that racist? But they were making that at the time.
It was a 70s movie.
Yeah.
So Tom doesn't know what the heck he's working on. Or the momentous project that Lewis is undertaking. In the next months, it is revealed that Lewis designed what was one of the first and likely the best computer system for a retail bookstore in the country.
What? On a legal pad?
Well, he's working out the codes.
Oh.
He's tinkering
he's
on
a
the codes.
coder.
But
The
to
net.
write, it's the net. He's
The
Sandra
pre-net.
Bullock in the net. To get the computer system written, tested, and running, computer time was rented at night on an IBM System 3 computer in the portable trailer of a massive auto junkyard with howling guard dogs as the soundtrack.
What is this, Stranger Things?
So he has this idea, and the junkyard system kept track of auto parts, mostly which were still in the cars, and he was kind of finding a way to model that, but integrate it and expand it so he would create a computer system to keep track of inventory of books in retail stores. This is a crazy and exciting time. The store's book buyer is ordering an ambitious selection of books for this 10,000 square foot store.
That's a big store. I worked in a record store that was 3,000 square feet, and I thought that was big.
This is over 3 times larger.
Plus another 1,000.
Unbelievable. The clearance sale is going to fund the move. Rudy Fink and his carpentry crew are building and varnishing solid hardwood bookshelves for the new space.
That's gonna,
What I wouldn't give for a solid hardwood bookshelf from the original Borders.
You had a time machine.
If I had a time machine, that's where I'm going. I'm knocking Rudy Fink out cold. I'm dragging his body behind the store, and I'm making off with like 6 to 10 bookshelves. All the while, Lewis and his buyers are placing huge orders. He's frantically trying to get the computer system ready to receive this tsunami of books. Occasionally, they had to, Rudy is kind of crafted as an interesting side character in this film. They had to call Rudy to get him out of bed in the mornings to manage the bookcase making crew. It sounds like a really fun ragtag bunch. I would love to be a fly on this wall. In a panic, they hustled to open the store in November 1974, a few days before Thanksgiving. 2 days later, it snowed 8 inches, which virtually shut down retail in Ann Arbor. If you remember this time, 1974, any of our listeners
Please share with us.
Please share with us.
The great snowstorm of Ann Arbor.
Some of our listeners might have been conceived on that night. Don't you think? Possibly?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Snowed in. Is there anything more romantic? Snowed in Ann Arbor?
They'd be 40.
On Thanksgiving?
They'd be 41 on Thanksgiving morning.
Okay, if you are 41 and your birthday is not your birthday on Thanksgiving. Your birthday is 9 months after Thanksgiving?
Oh, no, they'd be 40 because they'd have to be pregnant for 9 months.
Okay.
So they would have been born in 75. So they'd be turning 40 this year.
If you're turning 40 this year and your birthday is 9 months after Thanksgiving and you're from Ann Arbor, let's just say
July.
You're a Borders baby. So cash is very tight. They're overextended. Publishers are calling. They want payment. They can't sell enough books yet because the store is shut down. And then we have, by a miracle, a booming December. Their dream is finally coming true. A vibrant, exciting bookstore. The manager, Joe Gable, had a young, smart staff to provide what would be known as their signature Borders brand of service. Never pushy, cool, friendly, casual, bright. Joe's crew, they knew their books. The customers quickly came to rely on the staff, and everyone enjoyed the interaction. So this was a place you could go to say, like, hey, I like this kind of book. What else might I like? The staff were trained and quizzed and hired specifically for being very knowledgeable about books in general, but also about a specific category of books.
That's smart. Self-help.
Right.
Travel.
Sure.
Gardening.
Exactly. Those are great categories.
History.
Another one.
Art.
Perfect.
Sociology. Local interest.
Oh.
Always a favorite of mine.
Ooh.
When I go to Ohio, I always go to look.
What does that have? Like old photos of the city?
Old photos of the city. It'll have like books on brands from that city. I got
That's
a
fun.
Kroger book there. My favorite bookstore to go to, not to go off topic because that's not
That's
what
not
we're
what we
about.
do.
My sister, I think, got me into this, or my niece got me into this in the last few years. In Cincinnati, there's a store called Friends of the Library.
Oh.
And it's either books that have come from the library that they no longer need, or they just have so many donations. It's like this kind of rustic building, cement floors, but like books, like CDs are $1 or $2. Books are
I
like
love that.
$1 to $10. Like, and you
Kind
just
of like a community thrift store-ish.
yeah, but very well organized and like nicely done. And there's like a vintage section with old like Nancy Drews. And
You should have a store like that someday.
everyone. I should.
Yeah.
I don't want a bookstore.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't. I think you have to want it. I think it's kind of hard. You
That
should want
seems like
it.
a dusty mess.
Yeah,
I like to
agree.
visit. It's like kids, girl.
Nice
I
place
like
to
to
visit.
visit, but you ain't coming home with me.
So now the Borders boys are in their 4th location in 3 years. That's a lot. I mean, imagine these biceps on these book nerds.
I have been the whole time.
When space became available in an adjacent building, they absorbed that space into the store as well. So unintentionally, they're kind of growing little by little into this like mega bookstore. Book titles were added to improve every category throughout the store. They created new categories: women's studies, gay studies,
Okay.
ecology.
An old used copy of the On-Brand Guide to Life.
Every time they improved one book subject area, sales in all subjects went up because people would come in, they go, oh, I'm here for a book about fish.
I
And they're
found
like,
this homo book. Maybe while I'm here,
maybe I want to learn about Moroccan cooking.
I'll see why I'm depressed.
Yeah, there you go. So they noticed that having a great variety of categories and experts on each category just was their golden ticket to being a
Wow, they
successful
figured out
business.
having an assortment of books is better than one
Yes.
type of book.
But very knowledgeable staff, which is rare these days.
I remember working in a music store. People would come in, and this is before a lot of things. And people would be like, I keep hearing this song on the radio. And it would be like, and I'd be like, I don't know. I was like, can you sing it for me?
Oh my
So
God,
I
how
would get them
funny.
to sing it. And then I would instantly know because everyone's coming in for the same 8
Sure.
songs. And I'm like, wait, that sounds familiar. Can you sing? I would, as much as I could get them to sing
Oh
the
my
song.
God, how
have
funny.
them-
Even though you
Oh,
knew it right away.
yeah.
That's really cute.
That's the Cranberries. You're going to find that over here in C. It's called Dreams.
You were like a snotty record store employee.
No, I was just bored and having fun. A kid with dreams of moving to California and podcasting.
There you go. Every
Here we
little
are.
boy's dream. The number of titles in their store increased to 150,000.
Wow.
So they are now in the serious book business. And that's when Lewis and Tom realized that they have this full-blown bookstore that is doing so well, and they have this full-blown computer system to organize these 150,000 titles. It's not...
So do they have to go to the trailer? Not to cut you off.
no.
Did they have to go to the trailer if they're like, oh, you want a Sherlock Holmes book? He has to like run out to a garage, like the trailer in the used...
In the junkyard?
Yeah.
That was just to like write the code.
Oh.
So they did have the computer system now on site.
And it's just like, it's just down to like...
You think you ask for like a title of a book and like he comes back 45 minutes later all sweaty?
It's like, meet me here at 6:45.
That junkyard dog chasing him because he had some salami in his pocket.
He has a big chomp out of his leg because he had some
Yeah.
salami in his pocket.
So that is when they decided to start a new computer company called Book Inventory Systems. So this is where you see Hello Sharks. The Borders Books helped individuals open their own bookstores using their own store name in their own cities and supplied them with the central buying and consolidated shipping. So with 2 shipments a week from Book Inventory Central Warehouse in Ann Arbor, all these independent bookstores in their own cities could become the best bookstore in their market. So you kind of can also see they're in it for like the love of books. You might say like, oh, but these are your competitors. You might want to potentially open a Borders in that city. But instead, they're supporting the small bookstore to have access to this amazing inventory and making it easier than ever.
Interesting.
So within a few years, in addition to the Borders Bookshop in Ann Arbor, Book Inventory Systems had helped locate, design, and supply stores in East Lansing, Kalamazoo, Toledo, Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati,
Hey.
Nashville, Memphis, Grand Rapids, Cleveland, and Lexington. And still at that same time, none of those are Borders. Those are independent bookstores. The second Borders bookshop opened in Birmingham, Michigan in 1985. Within 2 years, sales caught up with the 14-year-old Ann Arbor store. So it took 14 years for them to open up a second location. And within 2 years, that second location was already on par with their original one.
I know we had a Borders in Tri-County by 1990.
Yeah? Do you remember going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they must have really expanded. Must be a moment of
Oh,
expansion
for sure.
happening.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Just as a note about the Borders brothers and what kind of bosses they were, they installed a company-wide profit-sharing program. So if they had a good year, an especially profitable year, they would get significant additional pay for all the young staff at the store. So that was, they're good. They're good guys.
Never worked at a place that does that. Anything nice.
I've never.
Never.
It created a really strong camaraderie and a real investment in the business. So all the employees there, like you could tell their hearts were in it. They're not just like collecting their paycheck, going home. They're passionate about selling their books. So now we're pumping. Borders began introducing movies and music to the stores in 1991 to expand its offerings beyond just books, help the company grow into a national chain in the 1990s.
Okay.
In 1992, after 21 years in the business, the Borders brothers sold to Kmart for $185 million.
Wow.
There you go. There you go.
And look how Kmart's doing now.
Look how the other bookstore Kmart owned, Walden Books, is doing now. You ever step foot in a Walden Books?
Did I ever set foot in a Walden Books? I had the biggest crush on a guy named Scott that worked on Walden Books.
Really?
Very complicated relationship.
What do you mean?
It's one of those things that's like...
You liked him, he didn't like you?
Well, it's like he did enough, but not enough.
Did you meet him out of Walden Books?
No, I think we met clubbing.
Okay.
But it was one of those things in hindsight.
He's like, I gotta go home. I gotta shift to the bookstore tomorrow morning. What do you mean? Stay out. Let's party all night.
God, I had such a crush on him. But it's one of those things you just learn at some point when you get older. If you have to wonder if someone likes you for too long,
It's not a good match.
They don't.
Confusion is all you need to know.
They don't.
Did you ever kiss him?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yep.
You got a smooch.
During a snowstorm. Walked to his home, walked to his apartment.
Oh.
Smooched in a snowstorm.
Smooched in the
Left a
snow.
rose on his car windshield. It was a hopeless romantic.
Oh, you're such a romantic. I love that. So Walden Books was owned by Kmart, and it was their brand of bookstore that was in malls. So that was where you would see a Walden Books, whereas Borders Books and Music were like standalone in shopping centers. So Kmart was looking for a way to bundle the Walden Books operation with another bookstore to make it sellable.
Bundle or fumble?
It turns out it was a fumble. Swap that B for an F and then add in other letters.
And you know what an F is? Failure.
F for failure. Borders and Walden Books quickly spun off. They had their own company on the New York Stock Exchange, Borders Group Inc. in 1995. They combined 1,000 Walden Books with a handful of Borders and Book Inventory Systems as now this is their corporate entity. The Borders brothers, they're not on the board. They have no input in the operations of the company.
You know what those Border Brothers did?
What?
They took $185 million and were like, dip.
You know what so much of business is? Knowing when it's time to
Dip. It's absolutely true.
And
That
for
can't
that
become our
reason-
thing. Now I'm starting to feel like we're becoming like a jock boy show.
Well,
We're like those DJs.
we appeal to them also. We
That's
need
true.
a soundboard with some like chickens and like
Dip.
ahooga. So they're not involved in the business anymore. Now there's all this kind of like corporate, you'll start to see the pieces that end up being part of Borders' downfall. There's a lot of corporate fumbling, bumbling, succession of CEOs for very like short periods of time, like 1 year, then 7 years, then 1 year, then 1 year, then 1 year. It's like clearly
That happened at Joanne's.
Yes.
I'm seeing it's happening in the show that I'm researching right now for next week.
huge red flag.
It's a red flag when a bunch of CEOs come parading through.
I feel like we would have been able to do it. You and me splitting a paycheck.
I could have done any of these companies.
In 2001, 3 years in the red, e-commerce is starting to whisper. People are starting to buy books online. Other retailers, like Barnes & Noble, are seeing this as an opportunity to get their books out to a wider audience. Borders Books and Music, that was never really what they were about. They wanted you in the store. They wanted you sitting and drinking coffee and not buying anything. So for them, the online stuff didn't make sense. They never really got a handle on it. It was never really profitable for them. They said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take all of our e-commerce, retail book stuff. We're going to hand it over to Amazon.
I knew you were going to say they were going to hand it over to Amazon.
They were going to hand it over to Amazon.
I knew you were going to say we're going to hand it over to Amazon
Yep.
because Amazon creeped in a few years earlier and they're like, hey, man, we're figuring out the online system. You don't have to.
Exactly.
Here's what we're going to do. Borders, Kmart, you are going to be the sole provider of books through the Amazon website. It'll
For an
be,
undisclosed fee. We don't even know how much money they made out of it.
God
They
damn
will
it.
have Amazon taking over their web operations and relaunch as a co-branded site. It's powered by Amazon's easy breezy e-commerce platform, baby, that once it seduces you with is a one-click shop, and boy, is it hard to go back. And then in 2008, when Borders Books and Music tried to take over its own e-commerce operations, it was too late. People had already gotten those delicious Amazon claws in them, and it's hard to go back.
Probably free shipping. Amazon was the Fox Books.
Amazon was Fox Books all along.
All along.
I will say at their peak in 2003, as I mentioned, the opening, they had over 1,200 stores. We start to see now things start to crumble. The e-commerce is falling off. The CEO turnover. E-reading is now a big thing. Everybody thinks the Kindle is going to like take over books altogether. Barnes & Noble created its own product, which is called the Nook,
The
to
Nook.
compete against the Kindle.
Everyone remembers the Nook.
Do you remember the Nook? Do you remember Borders, who carried at least 6 devices, including the Kobo, the Velocity Micro Cruise Tablet, the Sony Pocket Edition, and the Franklin AnyBook, which was an audio-only reader shaped like a remote control. None of them gained any traction. Obviously, none of them were more successful than the Kindle or the Nook, and their stock continues to plummet. And then in 2011, 19 years after the Borders brothers sold the business, and 16 years after becoming a public company, Borders Group Inc. filed for bankruptcy. All 650 of the stores were closed. 19,500 people lost their jobs.
And if you listened quietly, you could hear Marshall's cheer.
To close our chapter on Borders, I'm going to read a Yelp review from the Borders I used to go to at Mission Viejo. This is by Ryan K. October 3rd, 2008. One of the better, bigger bookstore chains around. Back in the early mid-90s, Borders started having live music on Fridays and Saturday nights. I used to come here and do my homework a lot during college and with my parents. The staff is always pretty friendly, and they have a great selection of books, magazines, DVDs, music, and special collection musical video items. Then you can grab a coffee from Seattle's Best and chill in the comfy chairs and read your little heart out. I should do that more often. I was waiting for an oil change. Imagine how much smarter, healthier, and wealthier I'd be if I came here instead of dropping bills at bars and getting fat and killing my body. But that sure is fun. Winky emoji.
I wonder if he's still with us.
I wonder if he is.
Almost 20 years later.
That's right.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about this,
Yeah.
you know what this kind of reminds me of? It's like a modern day butcher. It's like maybe it's just very challenging to have a single source store. Like back in the day, you had the butcher, you had the
baker,
cobbler,
the candlestick
baker, and
maker.
then those all got folded into a supermarket.
Yeah.
And then bookstores got folded into online. Or though I do love that Barnes and Noble seems to be thriving, and I think they're now going through a renaissance period where they're opening more stores.
Oh, wow. That's great to
So
hear.
that's gone full circle. That's probably in addition to the resurgence of vinyl records, which have become very popular. They have a whole vinyl section. But yeah, it's interesting. And if people don't remember, when Amazon first came out, it was kind of known as a bookstore. It was like the world's largest online bookstore.
It was their first product.
That was their thing.
Yeah.
Was books. And now look, now they're just the devil.
Right. Before we move on from Borders, Books, and Music, and I'm not saying this because I always get scatological or always go potty humor.
Oh boy, what?
I will say that if you Google this question, the first 4 answers are related to this. Why do bookstores make you poop?
Oh my God.
Why do bookstores make you poop? Do you know this phenomenon, John?
No, because I don't know that I've ever pooped in a Barnes & Noble.
I will tell you.
You poop at Trader Joe's.
This-
Why do buildings make you poop?
This is a phenomenon that has been documented since before the 1980s.
I know why. I can figure it out.
Why?
Because my dad used to read Reader's Digest on the toilet. So my bottom probably learned that sitting on the toilet is associated with reading.
Interesting.
So when you go to the store, your
You see the books?
sphincter starts to like flap and your tummy starts to grumble. And you see the book. There was a whole remember Seinfeld? He takes the book into the bathroom.
That's
and it
right,
becomes the
yeah,
flag
and it
book.
gets flagged,
Is
yeah.
it that?
So that is one of the theories. Physicians have long discussed what could be the reason for this phenomenon. One of them is the association between reading and using the bathroom. There are some people who think the smell of the paper or the ink has a laxative effect. Some people think the posture of browsing in a bookstore, you might assume a squatting position, and that might trigger some bowel movements. Some people think that you're so overwhelmed by the amount of knowledge that stands at your feet that you might get scared and have to
You've
poop.
pulled so much info into your brain. You
Yes.
have to poop, get rid of something.
Exactly. You have to lose something, and just pooping is the easiest. It's the easiest
This
thing to
sounds like
lose.
it was a brainstorm done by us.
This is a real phenomenon. And at some point in the mid-'80s, the story goes that a Japanese woman named Marioko Aoki wrote a letter to a magazine confessing that she sometimes urgently felt the need to poop whenever she entered a bookstore. It turns out she wasn't alone, and in the weeks that followed, many other people wrote in explaining that they too felt the same urge in bookstores and libraries. And I'm telling you, if you Google it, why do bookstores make me poop is the number one result that will come up. If you have any experience with this, I would love to hear from you. I would
wouldn't.
love
So
to hear from you.
DM her. I don't need to hear it, so DM her.
So knowing all you know about the journey we've been on today, the Borders Brothers, is Borders Books and Music on brand for you?
You know, that question is so challenging with these dead brands. Things that would make it on brand for me, I love that they started in Ann Arbor, but that's mostly just because I love the sandwich at Zingerman's. It really doesn't have anything to do with... And I won a film festival at the Ann Arbor Film Festival for a doc I produced back in like 2012. So I have such great affiliation with Ann Arbor, and that's where I learned of the Ford Museum. So for all of those reasons, I'll say that Borders is a hard-on brand for me.
I'm with you for those reasons and my personal connection and nostalgia for the brand. It's a hard on for me as well.
I love it. Very
Well,
fun
great.
show. Very interesting.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, another one has been laid to rest.
And this is a rare, not even a zombie brand. There's no presence. It wasn't bought by anybody. It wasn't acquired. It doesn't, you don't go to, if you Google Borders Books and Music, did Barnes & Noble like maybe absorb, I don't know what they
I
would have
think they
absorbed it
might
for.
have,
Absorbed it.
yeah.
It says like Barnes & Noble welcomes Borders Books and Music customers. So yeah, I guess they absorbed the name. They absorbed whatever. But there's no Borders Books and Music pop-up in a Target. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, awesome. Another great dead brand in the books. We have only one more, which we will do next week. And then who knows what's after that? We have no more themes scheduled. It'll just be back to the basics.
Back to the basics. I'm sure we'll have something for November.
We'll come.
Yeah.
We are? We have to
Well,
come
you
up-
know, we have lightly seasonal also.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
but
maybe
nothing
seasonal.
tied to it.
No,
All right,
no.
before we go, we got to give our shout outs to our Freaks of the Week, obviously. whether she's on the Wheel of Freaks or not, Alexis. Come on. Come on.
People are going to be learning about how to get in your good graces.
She's not the first one to get a shout out because I was brought. It
There
paid
you
off.
go.
But yeah, so let's get to our Freaks of the Week. And if you're wondering, how do I become a Freak of the Week? It couldn't be easier, yet more challenging. On our Instagram, every Wednesday, I post a little puzzle in our story. If you can solve that puzzle and let me know what the brand is going to be the following day, I will send you a very cute, homemade, handcrafted little freak badge to let you know that you got the answer right. And I'm also going to add your name to the Wheel of Freaks. I'm going to then record the next episode. And then after that, I'm going to spin that wheel 5 times and pick our 5 freaks of the week. And that's who these lucky people are now. This is for the Napster Insta Egg. And the following people have won: Sarah Burge, Dominic Ramavilla, Robin with a Y, Matt Leonardo, and Danny St. Clair. Congratulations, you guys. Thanks for playing the egg. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to play our little games. Congratulations on being our Freaks of the Week. And if you don't check out our Instagram, check it out on Wednesdays to see our egg. Check it out to see our supplemental materials where you get to see pictures of the things we talk about in the episode and just get a little more inside look into the brands that we talk about and any fun announcements that we might have.
While we're giving shout outs, I'd like to shout out a lovely listener who left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We have Lady Napsalot, who says, "Love y'all." There you go.
That's it. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
That
We
could
love you
be-
too.
I'm probably not, but that could be Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, I think it is.
She loves to say y'all.
I can tell. It's that. Thank you, Reese. We love you. We
Reese
look
in
forward to having you
character.
on the pod. If you haven't left us a review on Apple Podcasts, please do that. It boosts the show. It boosts morale. Check out our Instagram at OnBrandThePod, TikTok at OnBrandThePodcast, YouTube On Brand with John and Marissa. One of our videos is going lightly viral. 8,000 views.
8,000 views. That's big for us.
That's very big for
Holy
us.
crap.
You can watch every episode there. We upload a video feed of every episode if you want to watch us next time. If you want more John and Marissa, check out Off Brand every Tuesday. A whole new episode.
It's a little raunchier. It's a little more adult. It's a little more, well, you got to pay to find out what it's a
You'll
little
have
bit
to pay to
of.
find out. There you go. And with
Actually,
that-
if you want to know what it's like, we also have a free one that we just posted a
Oh,
like
that's
a
right.
month
There
ago.
is a free episode
If
in
you
the
want to
feed.
check it out, you're like, maybe I want that. Is that my Christmas present for myself this year? Go listen to it.
We'll
We have
give you a freak peek.
We'll give you a freak peek. I coined that term and I told her not to steal it. And it was stolen. We'll give you a little freak peek.
And with that, we'll be back next week with an all-new episode.
And remember, we may go off topic, and when we do, we are so sorry. But don't fear. We will always be on brand.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Brand.